Good morning. Right now it is 9:05 on a Monday morning. I'm very excited. We have some guests that are in studio. We're going to be hanging out, talking, and learning about Texas First Bank. So if you're watching on Facebook, thank you so much for taking the time. Also, share this out. Let me know if you have any questions. Maybe you are a member at Texas First Bank. Maybe you bank somewhere else. Anyways, in the comments, put the bank where you do all of your business. Maybe you have multiple accounts. We're going to go ahead and switch it on the FM. We're going to get into this, and I'm going to introduce my guests, and we're going to learn everything about them, their history, how they got into the banking industry, and where Texas First Bank is going in the future. So hang in tight. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:06 on a Monday. It's the holiday season, which means we're playing some Christmas music. So if you have any requests for me, send me an email, khea@khearadio.com. Well, it is Monday, and that means this is Kickstart. I'm Gardy. We have some guests. We got Renee and we got Corinna in studio with Texas First Bank. Good morning to both of you. How are y'all doing today?
Good. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Did y'all find the studio okay?
Oh,
Yes.
We actually have a bank right down the road in Hitchcock on Delaney and Highway 6.
Yeah, so Texas First Bank, if I understand correctly, Corinna, because we talked about this, that's the first location ever.
Correct.
And what year was that?
Well, it opened in 1965 or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But Mr. Doyle actually acquired it with a group of investors in 1973.
Okay.
So it's been part of our family since then.
All right, and that was the first location. What was it called before Texas First Bank?
Bank of Hitchcock, or First State Bank of Hitchcock.
First State Bank of Hitchcock. That's cool.
Yeah.
And that location's still there. It's been there ever since. Now there
Looks
are...
the exact same from back then.
Yeah. over 50 years.
Yes.
And there's so many other locations now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have 27 now.
27. I'm going to write that down because I'm going to need to remember. I'm going to ask y'all to say where all the addresses are. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
That'd be hard.
I got you. Don't worry.
I would not do that to you guys. So, Corinna, can we start with you? Can you let me know what your role is at Texas First Bank and how you ended up here today?
Oh, yeah. So I am the marketing manager. I'm in charge of all the marketing at Texas First. I actually kind of weird. I spent 10 years in Austin working in the high-tech industry marketing there as well. And then when I was in Austin, I met my now husband who started working. Well, he's a resident at UTMB, and so we moved down here, which is actually kind of back home because I grew up in Seabrook. And I wanted a job that was really in the community. And so I found this one, and it's definitely very, very involved in the community, which is great.
Yeah, that's cool.
We love having her, too.
So thinking about Austin and then thinking about, back down here, they're pretty different. And you're talking about community. Our area, Galveston County, it has like a small town feel, places, but then also we have access to everything else and it's some of the best places in the world. So what do you think? When you think of Texas First Bank, is it like that small town bank or like are y'all a big bank? What do y'all offer that sets y'all apart from other places?
Yeah, we actually were just talking about that. I mean, it's a small town bank. I say high tech and high touch, right? So we have all of the features that you can find, the mobile deposit, the budgeting in your app. You can send money to a person
I like that
at
part.
Another bank. Yeah, they don't have to be at the same.
Take a deposit with your phone.
Yeah, all of that. But you can still walk in the door, and we know our name. We know your name. We know our name too. But
yeah.
But that is really great. That's what sets us apart, I think.
We know families. We know brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles of most of our customers because they come in and we get to know them on a personal level.
Cool. So
yeah.
Renee Rockers.
Renee Rockers.
That's a really cool name.
Thank you.
I feel like that is the lead singer of a band. Did you grow up playing music?
No.
No, are you
not
married?
At all. I am.
Is that your? That's
your
my
husband's
husband.
name.
Okay, so
my main name was Cruz, so I always joke I went from cruising to a Rockers.
That's cool. So, which branch are you at? There are 27 branches. Renee, which branch are you at, and what do you do there?
I am the regional manager for 5 of our locations, and I office out of our Santa Fe office.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, how did you end up in the banking industry?
My dad was a banker. He worked for Guarantee Savings and Loans back in the 80s. And it's just something that I've always been a part of. And then I used to I don't know if I should say this, but I used to babysit Mike Burkhart and Denise Burkhart. Denise is the daughter of Mr. Doyle. Their kids, and just conversation, just applied and been there ever since. So I've been there since I was 18.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Whenever I think of the bank, obviously the first thing you think of is money.
Yeah.
And whenever you said a banker, I have like a picture in my head. And it's the person that is, I don't know, they're important, and they're just like approving like what you can get and what you can't get, like, you know. So like, what does a banker actually do? And well, like, I guess, what are the different roles within Texas First Bank is really what I'm trying to ask.
We have multiple different roles within the bank. Our biggest group of employees is called our CSPs, which are our customer service professionals. And those individuals do the majority of the day-to-day work of the bank, making deposits, cashing checks, a lot of our customer service stuff. So making sure you have your online bankings working, making sure, you have your checks, your statements, and all those great features that help our customers out.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, Renee, how has it changed since you first came on? You said you started working at the bank, when you were pretty young.
Yes.
How has everything changed and grown with Texas First?
We used to be very like different departments. So we had a loan department and we had our teller department. Now we're all together. So our CSPs, again, can do anything and everything. Where before, 20 years ago, you had to go over here to get your loans, and then you had to walk over to the other side of the bank to do your cashing your checks and making your deposits. And now everybody can pretty much do everything. And technology has changed a lot, obviously, in 20 years. So, back then we barely even had ATMs. We barely even had a debit card. You just had to write checks. And now you can use your debit card anywhere and everywhere. ATMs now accept deposits. You don't even have to go inside the bank anymore. You can take a picture with your phone and make a deposit that way too. So technology has definitely come around over the last 20 years too.
Yeah, it has. What do y'all prefer? Working at a bank, working in the bank industry.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little technology and a little bit of I like to go up and talk to the tellers.
Yeah, there is something nice about that whenever somebody, that relationship.
Yeah.
So I guess it's up to you what you prefer as a customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have it all.
Do you think there will ever come a point where the ATM has that technology? I'm thinking like Siri. I'm like, hey, ATM. Hey, Texas First Bank ATM. What's up? And then we'll just have a conversation, and then it's like, where do you want to put this money at?
Hey, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think I've seen some banks kind of starting to go through that, the voice commands and whatnot. But then again, I was going to say we're always going to have paper money, but that's not true these days. You can pay with your watch. You can pay with your phone.
Yeah. You just load your card information. And I think we had a conversation about Apple Pay.
Mm-hmm.
I can load my card on my cell phone, and if I had a Texas First Bank debit card, I could just go and pay, and it pulls from that. Is that a safe option to use as a
I think
customer?
so. I use it.
Yeah, I use it too. And what's great about it is that whenever you use it, you don't realize it, but actually it's super secure because your number is being changed when it's going from your phone to the vendor. And so actually when they ask you for the last four digits are, you have to look on your phone to find it, because they're making it secure by changing up the numbers so you can't find it on the way over.
So anytime somebody asks you hey, what's the last four digits on the card, that's why they're asking that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just assumed they're just double checking. Also, here's the other thing. Whenever I do use my card, debit card, credit card, there's a spot on the back where you're supposed to sign it.
Uh-huh.
And I think sometimes they're supposed to check but I don't think nobody's ever checked the back to see if there's a signature and it matches
Back
with the
in
ID.
the day, they used to check the back of it, but these times I don't ever see people checking it. Because the other thing is you also have the self-checkout, so you can just check yourself out without anybody having to check the credit card or the
Yeah, and then they came up with the PIN numbers, and it's if somebody knows your PIN, that is saying that they are authorized to be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is
And
it?
that's a little more secure, I think, because technically you would only know the PIN.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to share it with anybody. Best practices don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
don't use the last four of your social security number. Don't use your date of birth for your PIN number. Use something that only you will be able to know.
Mm-hmm. So something your wife can't figure out Was what
if
you're
you
saying?
don't want her to have your money, yes.
Yeah. So, no, my wife's awesome. I love my wife, and we have like multiple accounts. Like, oh, there's one together. If she has hers, and I have mine, and then there's the kids' accounts. I'm not sure. Do y'all have kids?
Yes.
We do.
And when is a good time to open an account for kids? Like, what does it take to open a new account, especially like
As soon as
for
they're
young
born,
ones? You can
open
do
them
it.
a minor savings account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
As soon as they
You
get their
you
social
can
security
start putting
card.
money in there and saving for them.
College is
teaching them.
expensive. You got to start saving now.
Yeah. You really do. You really have to. That's what happened. And like, there's sometimes like birthday money and stuff that comes in, and I don't know what. So my son has like his own little piggy bank, and the other day he's like, "There's nothing in there." I'm like, "I just looked in there like not too long ago. It was full of like
Yeah.
some
My
cash."
husband always gives our son, his little pocket change. And my dad, whenever my son plays t-ball, my dad will give all the grandkids a little $1. So we always go put that in his piggy bank. So his piggy bank's probably fuller than mine ever was.
Have
then
you
think
checked
about-
it lately?
And I have not checked it lately.
You should
I probably
check
check
it.
it.
You should
I
check
know there's
it.
at least a $20 bill in there too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but then like think about how much fun it was when you were a kid to go into the bank and you got
Bring
the
in money,
lollipop and sometimes there's a sticker or something. You know, it was a lot of fun. So like as soon as you can start them, it's good habits.
Yeah. That is true. I remember being a kid and there was a bank. I can't remember what it was called. It was in Angleton, where I'm originally from, and they had popcorn on like Fridays.
We have a lot of our banks do that too. We have popcorn or
cookies.
yeah, in
Ooh,
Santa Fe we
cookies.
have cookies, and it just smells so wonderful there. Every Wednesday, come see us in Santa Fe.
All right. Is that so? Who has the best branch?
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe's the best branch because you're there.
Whoa.
But you're in
course.
Galveston, Corinna, right?
Yeah, I'm in Galveston. Actually, the one off of 25th and Broadway, 24th and Broadway. But so, that one's been there for a while too. That used to be the Bank of the West in Galveston. It's a pretty cool location. Actually, all of our locations, well, I shouldn't say all, but many of them have their own identity. So if you go to Santa Fe, you walk in the doors, all of it is art from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
A lot of Indians. A lot of our building is a very Art Deco, stucco from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And then in Texas City, it's
Nautical.
Victorian nautical. I'm not sure how.
That's a
how
good
to explain
description.
it. Yeah.
Can
But-
y'all please describe the Hitchcock location?
1970s.
Classic.
Ah,
Cla-
I like
Actually,
that.
the way that it looks is because of the way that we were talking about earlier with technology. The way that it's changed is just the teller lines. You know, everything used to be split up, so they needed a lot more space. And now, because they don't need as much space, it just feels a little bit more like a hall. You know, but
yeah.
but that's not how it originally was. And so classic. we'll
Yeah.
say, with a history.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So that's the one that's close to the post office.
Yeah, right next door.
You know, that post office is my favorite post office that I've ever been to because there's never anybody there. Like, you can just go
walk
in.
in.
Man,
Yeah.
if you try, so I live in League City now, but if you go into the League City post
busy.
office,
Oh, yeah.
oh
Very,
my
very
goodness,
busy.
you better have like an hour potentially. You
Yeah.
never, you know, especially with it being holiday time right now. If you go to the Hitchcock post office, there might be one person there. Sometimes there's not even anybody at the counter because nobody's there, so they're in the back working. The little bell, ding. What you need, boom, boom, in and out. Get a donut, come home. You
Santa
know?
Fe's a lot like that too.
Yeah.
And we know the people that work there in Santa Fe, so it's nice to go and chit chat with them for a little bit and take care of your mail.
Yeah. And yeah, Santa Fe, it has a, you know, there's definitely that small town feel. I was talking to someone the other day about that there is room. It was Santa Fe Education Foundation.
I'm the president of the Santa Fe Education.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking.
To Jody Gidley,
Yes,
maybe? Yeah.
yes, yeah, and we were chatting about everything.
Yeah. She actually just left us and is at the College of the Mainland now.
Yes, yeah, because it's the 10-year celebration
Anniversary.
of it.
Yeah.
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 So this next year, it's a pretty big deal. And then there
Yeah.
was, you know, Giving Tuesday,
Yes.
and then there's all kinds of stuff. I have notes. I have notes over here that I didn't know there was going to be a test today. I would have studied. Let me see. Right now it's 9:20. This is KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. Maybe you're watching on channel 46 or on your social media feed right on your phone from the Facebook app. Either way, make sure you share this out. Call and text a friend. Tell them to tune in. Let me know. Have you banked at Texas First Bank? Maybe you've been a member there or you're looking to open another account. Is it smart? Is it a good idea to have multiple accounts at multiple banks? Or, you know, I guess you guys would probably say, you need all. We can do everything you need right here. But I have some accounts, and I've had them at different banks just for random reasons. What do y'all think? What's y'all's opinion on that?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough
I
one.
mean, obviously, you don't have to. That's, I mean, there's not really necessarily a reason to, unless you just, like you said, you open it and it's not. I don't know how to answer
It's
that.
a tough
I
question.
mean,
Well,
it's not. There's not a negative to having it, except that you have your money in multiple places, and you're gonna have to remember. And the only negative I can think of is, when my grandfather, not to be morbid, but when he passed away, we're trying to figure out where all of his accounts are, and it's just logistically harder to have them across. But
yeah, so I'm a member of a local credit union here, and there was a point in time, like I had that account when I was like 15 or 16 years old. I got my first job, and I went there because my parents went there. But then I moved to the other side of the country, and they didn't have the credit union. Now, there was a program to where you could go to a random credit union that they worked with.
There are networks.
Yeah. But it was, to be honest, it was a little bit of a pain, and it probably would be a lot easier today just because of technology, but the internet was around. Smartphones weren't really around like they are. But, Texas First Bank, I'm just thinking like, hey, like if you do a lot of traveling, does it make sense to go with like, hey, they're here, or, if you're a credit union, or is it easy to travel and use your banking services?
Absolutely.
that's exactly what we were talking about earlier or what you just said about technology is, you don't have to be near a physical location. Many people just bank online completely, and we can do that too.
We have a lot of customers that moved away after Ike or Harvey up into the Woodlands, Conroe area. Now we have locations up there, but before we had locations, they would just bank mobilely. We have customers in College Station. We have customers all over the place.
Where is y'all's radius? Like, I didn't know y'all went all the way up to the Woodlands.
Well, we just actually added 5 new locations, and it goes Woodlands, Spring, Conroe is the furthest north that we go, and then all the way out to Port Arthur, Mid-County is the furthest east.
And as far as the west, we go out to Katy. We have a location now in Katy.
Wow.
Well, Energy Corridor, Katy Freeway.
Yeah.
They don't like it when we call them Katy because they're technically in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're that big black skyscraper off of I-10.
Is there a plan like for the growth? I mean, because it's been steadily growing since that first location in Hitchcock. Is it to expand all over the state, or what's the goal for y'all's growth?
That's not the goal. The goal is to maintain, the community feel, and they're actually very smart about who they pick to acquire if we acquire somebody, and it has to be the right fit. So we just acquired these 5 locations, but they're very family focused, very community focused. It was a good fit, and it took a long time. So, we're not the official spokespeople for that, but if it makes sense, then yes, we'll add locations. But again, we don't have to because we've got all the technology too, and we actually have a technology plan that we're working on to improve our technology even more. So.
Okay, cool. I'm going to ask about that here in a bit, but this is a question I wanted to get to. This is from Paul. So he's a business owner. Him and his wife, they own Southern Sass, Vinyl and More in League City. And so he asked, I've heard good things about Texas First Bank. Are y'all good for local small business?
Absolutely. That's what we like.
Yeah, that's what we're here. We have a small business administration, SBA lending office dedicated. We're preferred SBA lenders. So we love small businesses, and that's, what a community bank is about. You put your deposits here, and we use them to make loans for small businesses, and that's right here, local. Cool. That's
so you
us.
said SBA, is that Small Business Association?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's
administration.
Administration.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So y'all do a lot with some local businesses here, and y'all been doing it for a long time. What was like the vision whenever y'all started? Back then, because I guess, Mr. Doyle and his friends or lenders or partners, investors, they decided to get that first bank. And did they want to help businesses? Did they just want to, like, what was the original thought behind that? Because that's pretty cool. Like, I'm gonna buy a bank. How cool is that? I want to buy a bank.
Mr.
I don't know
Doyle
why.
can probably tell you the whole story. But as far as, that was kind of the goal, was to serve the area, starting in Hitchcock, but they really wanted to have a location in Galveston, in every incorporated city
in Galveston
County by the end of
the century.
Yeah.
So
2000.
And that happened?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then they've grown ever since.
Yeah. It's interesting because as I've made, friendships and partnerships and communicating with these local cities to learn that how long they've been incorporated, because you just think like, oh yeah, these cities have been around forever.
No,
it's
not at all.
It's not that long. Like in the grand scheme of things, like, oh, that was like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Or
I think when they started, it was a goal of 10 incorporated cities, and by the end of the century, it was 13. They had 13 locations. So
cool.
I don't know if that means 3 new cities or we had 2 and 1, but
Okay.
that means there was some net growth, I guess.
Yeah. Paul with Southern South said, hey, awesome. We'll be contacting y'all soon. And so
Great.
Looking forward to meeting you, Paul.
all right.
Welcome to Texas First Family.
That's cool. Whenever you call it family,
Yes.
that's one thing I like too. At like KHEA, we call it, hey, it's part of our like Facebook family or KHEA fam, instead of just like, I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. Yeah.
Yeah. No, family. That's
Families first at Texas First.
That's one of our slogans or mottos.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's true. I mean, Mr. Doyle's sons are all involved in the bank, and his daughter's husband, Mike Burkhart, that she was just talking about, is also involved too. So it's
Yeah.
And
very
now
much
Mr. Dole's grandkids are coming to work for the bank now. So that's a really cool transition to see too.
Yeah. And I know you guys, Texas First Bank gives back a lot and sponsors a lot of the educational foundations, like the Texas City Education Foundation. So we've done some stuff with them, and I was able to attend the Leads Day. I've been out for that, and
It's a great event.
there's a lot that y'all do. Why is that so important to the Doyle family, to Texas First Bank, and why is that important to give back?
I mean, that's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
That's part of
really the
their
leadership.
vision
Yeah.
was to give back to the community in any way that we can. So being an employee for Texas First Bank, there's no question at all that we can go and serve our community in any way, in any shape and form, in any capacity that we want to do that.
Okay, cool.
And it's top down for sure.
Crystal's very involved in Salvation Army, United Way.
Mr. Doyle, that's Mr. Chuck Doyle, Charles Doyle, the founder. He was mayor of Texas City. We've had Mayor Matt Doyle is the current mayor of Texas City. Patrick Doyle, one of the other sons, was a commissioner in Galveston County. I mean, serving the community in any way is very highly encouraged for us, and we also give back, monetarily, but really you've got a good group of people that like to be involved and want to be involved, and we love it.
Yeah. Here's one of the Santa Fe council members, Mr. Fidencio Lejia.
Oh, Junior, hey.
Yeah, he said that he banks with you guys.
He does.
And in law business, some of the Tabaldo's Feed and Supply.
Tabaldo's, yes.
What?
They're a long-time established feed store in Santa Fe and have been customers of ours for a long time.
Cool. You need feed stores in Santa Fe.
There's a lot of animals.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of 4-H projects and FFA projects that they help feed and support.
That's cool. See, you don't get this in other places. I feel like, and maybe you do, and I don't realize it, but just being in Galveston County, like you have a little bit of everything. I can
really do.
Before I can raise a cow, like I can show it in the show, and then I can go down to Galveston the beach, and I can go to Katy and bank with you guys or whatever. But there's a lot.
I mean, and League City is growing. League City has tons of businesses just popping up, and it's a whole different field than Santa Fe, and Santa Fe is a whole different field.
To me, each
Texas
one of our
City
locations has a completely different clientele, which is really, really cool to see.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, I'm a regional manager, so I have 5 locations, and each one of those 5 locations just that I oversee is completely different. But it's also cool because our customers do go to some of those locations and do their business.
Okay, which leads to this next question. This is from Paul again. He said, hey, another question. Is there a certain branch we should go to as a small business in League City, or can we go to any location?
Any one of our locations.
But is there one, like, for him specifically that would be better, maybe?
We do have one in League City. It's on the corner of Highway 3 and 518.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is another question that just came in. He said, what would you recommend for a savings account, or what type of savings accounts are there? Because to be honest, when I think of savings account, I'm like, like I'll get a penny back like at this 6 months. I remember being a kid and I was like, is there some that are better? Is there any like long-term savings, or is it all just kind of like at least you get something?
I don't say anything's better. We do have these accounts. They're called KHEA accounts. And of course, we have to say this, but all your deposits are FDIC insured. But there you go. Yeah,
we should have brought a sign and put it in front of the camera.
Right? We should have.
Yes.
But you have the checking accounts that we have cash back, and we have a high interest account, and then we actually have an account called KHEA Saver that you can tie to your checking account. So they're rewards checking. So if you do certain behaviors, it's get a direct deposit, swipe your card 10 times, and get your statements versus via email. It's just really easy.
Yeah.
You swipe your card 10 times a month easily.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And post it clear by the end of the month.
It is Christmas time, so yeah, probably. But then you get that cash back or the interest, and that stuff can go immediately into your KHEA Saver account. So it's automatically saving. You don't even have to think about that every month. And then if you do all of those things, it's a reward saving account, so you get a little bit higher interest rate.
Cool.
So
y'all also offer credit cards, right?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about that.
Rate.
There's like is it MasterCard? Is that what y'all use? Visa.
Mr. Dole was actually on the board for Visa for many years.
That's crazy because Visa's like
huge.
When they went public, he was there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a financial football game that we just played at the Leeds program that you were talking about for the Texas City Foundation for the Future. And he was apparently on the marketing committee for that too when they created all of that. So yeah,
and
but it's definitely Visa.
Yeah.
Is he from here? Like, is he from our area?
He's actually originally from Oklahoma, and then came down here after college, I believe, to work at the plants.
Union
Carbide, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's those refineries here. There's a lot of jobs, and it's really cool to see, I guess, the products that come out from our area that we don't even realize.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just kind of growing up here, it's not like you become immune to it, but it's just it's an option that you have. But whenever you sit back and look at what they are creating there, it's nuts. It's really cool.
And they love to give back. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent for like 20 seconds because I'm on the Texas City Education Foundation. So, but they have the Industrial Trade Center now in Texas City, which is great. To that point, they're taking kids in high school and exposing them to all the different trades because it is such a viable option. They have forklifts and engineering things, and they even have a whole simulator so you can pilot a boat or a ship. It's a pretty cool program that they have going on there.
Base and thought.
Yeah. It's one of the. I don't think there's many like it out there.
No.
I don't know.
They have people. I know they have people come in from all over to tour it.
I think Santa Fe is a partnership too that our students can go over there and take classes, I believe.
Cool. So right now it's 9:34. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Channel 46. We're also going to keep chatting on our Facebook stream. Feel free to share this out. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll get those asked and answered. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Sweet.
Yay.
This is going a lot better than I thought it would.
Okay, so this is from... Someone wants to know if they can get a code to the vault.
No. I don't even have codes to the vault.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's just funny to think that's like, man, there's actually a vault. Like you see, I'm thinking of movies and stuff where like
Whole State Bank has what's their deal with their vault?
So they're 100 years old in Whole. And they have a little vault that's like tiny, and that used to be the
vault.
Like,
was there like gold, like straight up gold in there at one point?
We're not 100 years old. I'm not sure.
I'm guessing there was. I'm guessing there was just gold. Because like if you had something that small, like how are you gonna put all that? What are you putting in there? It has to be gold.
Many people, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a booming oil town, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But.
All right. Hey, let me see. Okay, yeah, this is Mr. Fidencio again. He said, hey, I love my banker and their tellers. When I walk in, I hear them acknowledge most members by their name. Love this. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, if you have any questions except for the vault codes, how about also like with technology? I mean, even here, like we have key cards. Sometimes like ding, you can get in. But I'm like thinking of movies where it's like you got your eye, you like it's scanned, and you got to like triple access fingerprints and all that stuff. Is that being used, or like are we there?
No.
And that's just movies then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being used other places. But
Yeah.
Not at Texas First.
no.
Maybe like at Apple. I'm thinking like that's like
Probably
their
there.
thing, like
Well,
the technology.
I worked for a data center in a past life, when I was younger, and that's where they have all the company servers, so all the company information, and we definitely had all the biometrics that you had to do just to even walk in the door to the offices, and then to go to the back was even more. So yeah,
Wow.
it was intense.
Hey, can we talk about the tech plan? I know, because whenever I said that, I think you had, I don't know, you kind of looked away, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, no.
I was like, well, maybe we won't talk about the tech
that
plan.
Would be hard. I'm not in those.
I can go high level. It's been a little while since I've looked at the details, but
Cool. So what does that mean? What does that entail?
oh, so last year I believe we've done our merger since then. So there's been a lot going on since then. But last year we hired a firm to come in and kind of look at all of the different ways that we can make it easier, not only for our employees to do their jobs, but for customers to do their banking and get in touch with us, apply for a loan, apply for a bank account, all of that sort of stuff. And they helped us identify some places, and that's, we had the merger, so we kind of put that on pause, but now we're definitely looking into that, and that's, like I said, making it a lot easier and more streamlined to apply for a loan. And get approved, hopefully, with right credit and all of that.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it is just making it easier for the customer, for you to bank with us and to reach out with us, because we know that it's important because people are moving, and that shouldn't be a hindrance for you.
Mm-hmm. So let's say somebody comes in, they want to get a loan for a car, a house, for a small business. Let's say their credit isn't where it needs to be. Do y'all kind of give them advice, or like, hey, maybe you can reach out to these people if you need better numbers? Is that something that y'all do or no?
Well, neither of us are loan officers, but
Right. But I do know some of our lending assistants will, if they can, provide different phone numbers or different avenues to help the customers out to better their credit scores.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, or if you're right on the cusp, we might have partners depending on the situation. It really depends on the situation, and that's something that all of our staff can kind of help you understand what is the right option for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's when the relationship comes into play, because it's like, I'm like right there. Like, I'm like 5 points away. Come on. I used to babysit you.
Right.
Just like kind of slide it in, and it helps. It helps to know the bank and the bankers and everybody that's helping make that decision. So,
And that's a community bank.
Yeah.
That's not, one of the big banks. You're going to go in and they might just look at the numbers and say no, and then kind of leave you out cold. But that's not our goal.
So I tagged Texas First Bank, Santa Fe, and then I tagged some of the other one. So there are a ton, like if you type in Texas First Bank, each branch has its own social media page. It appears
not
that
purposely. Yeah.
It appears that way.
They've been created, yes.
I was gonna ask why. I was like, is that you, or did somebody else do that? And then it's just a lot.
We maintain the Texas First Bank one.
There's like a main one?
Yes.
Texas First Bank, that's where we put all of our information. But, it is Facebook, and people create a bunch of different things, especially when you go and you want to tag like, hey, I'm at Texas First Bank in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
You can't, unfortunately, the way Facebook is set up, you can't do that, because you'll see like our main one is associated with our Texas City location, because that's where
kind of our headquarters are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't tag that, so people create it. But yes, our main one for all the official information, Texas First Bank.
So find the official one, and sometimes you'll be able to tell.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell.
Yeah.
Cool. Whenever it comes to social media, Have y'all used that and found that as a very good way to communicate with people? Is it like a good tool for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is where we put a lot of our information. We just had a shred day, so we posted that. But even when we have had hurricanes, so Harvey, that's how one of the main ways that we can communicate with our customers is,
what locations are
we're open, we're flooded. Please don't try to drive here because we're not there either. We can't get there either. It's a great tool, and we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're on all of the ones that we can be on.
Yeah, Pinterest.
Not yet.
There's no reason. It would just be like pictures of money, like different
money
like,
collages, money animal
purses,
shapes.
maybe wallets.
Texas First Bank wallet.
Yeah,
To put your Texas First Bank credit card in there. You're good to go.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so let's see. We'll play a couple more songs and we can go back on. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and we'll get those asked, and we'll get them checked out and answered. So Corinna Danilovich, I'm saying it right, down in Galveston with the really cool vault
With the really
I have not seen in person, but I heard about.
It's like a 2-person, and you can see all the gears and everything inside the door.
It's very cool.
Those doors are heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
People will find out.
Yes.
Whenever
well,
they watch.
they won't find out.
If you go to the Lamar
We're not
branch
giving the code
on Oak Street, they got, well, I don't know if it's like an official vault. It's a what do you call it? Like
Safe deposit box.
Safe deposit box.
Yeah.
So we went and shot a shot on Lamarck there, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was given the task to open the door.
Even
and move
those
out the
are
way.
heavy too.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. It's stinking heavy. I've never touched an actual vault, but the safe deposit box, like that was way heavy.
Yes.
That's too heavy.
Imagine the vault. It's even more heavy.
Man.
But you don't want people just to be able to
Just walk
pick it
on
up
in.
and walk.
That's true.
I've seen those videos where they like tie a rope around an ATM and try to pull it out of the wall or
stores
something.
and Walgreens.
Or maybe those are the movies. I don't know. But
Wow.
you gotta weigh it down. Keep that money where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you work with the Santa Fe. You said you're the president of the Santa Fe Education Foundation.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in that role?
That role in particular, 1 year.
Okay, and then how long have you been associated with the foundation?
4 years, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm also the second vice chair of the Santa Fe Chamber as well. I'm on the allocations committee for United Way. I'm on the scholarship committee for the Galveston County Fair and Rodeo, so I'm very involved in our community.
Apparently. How do you find the time to do all that
I have
stuff?
no idea.
You make time.
You make time. My son plays t-ball, so very, very involved.
Cool. And you mentioned that you're with the Texas City Education
For the
Foundation.
Future. Yep. And the Junior League of Galveston County.
And how do you find time? Is that just
And I have a
She's got a newborn, too.
baby too, 5-month-old, and so I don't know. I have a whole new respect for mothers. Now that I am a mother, they just make time.
Especially mothers of multiple kids. I don't see how they do that.
Mhm.
I just have one.
Is it a boy or girl?
Boy. He just
boy.
turned 4 last week.
4-year-old boy. And your baby?
5-month boy.
5-month boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's great. It's great,
fun.
but I don't know how you would do it with multiples either.
I don't think my
Takes
wife
a
is
village,
watching.
as we all say. Takes a village to raise kids.
So my wife, she's pregnant, and this will be our third
Oh,
child,
my gosh.
Congrats.
and the baby is due in March, and it's a boy. So I'm like ready. I'm like, you know what? If this was it, I'm good. But she's like, well, we need like one more, and I was like,
You gotta have
if this was
even.
it, I'm good. Like if this was it, like we'll decide. I said, let's
So your other
welcome
one's
this one into the
girls?
world. I have a boy and a girl. My son is 7, and my daughter's 2, and then we're having another boy in March. And I think it's because she wants another
Good
girl.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's like, well, she has sisters, and she's like, I can't imagine growing up without, my sisters. And I'm just like, oh. I said, okay.
Another wedding.
That's what I said. Well, I didn't actually say it, but that's what I'm thinking. And I'm just like, I don't know if
Another
I can
savings
do
account
it.
you have to open to prepare for that savings for that wedding and that college fund.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about the money side. I'm thinking about like the emotional side of like just like walking down the aisle, just like, oh my gosh, this Joker kid marrying my daughter. Like, who does he think he is? Like, that's what I have to put myself through, like already. And my daughter's 2, and I've been thinking about it for 2 years, and I'm just like, she's not gonna do that. Let's just get married.
Now she wants to do it to you again.
Yeah. So
I don't
see.
know though. I'm a kid of 3, and I always say you need even numbers
Why?
because it's like I always either played with my brother or I played with my sister. It's very hard to like play with 2 siblings, you know. So
Are you in the middle?
I'm the middle. Yeah. And so you had I don't know. You need the pairs, and then they can keep each other entertained. But with 3, there's always an odd man out.
Yeah.
But I mean, not that neither of us have been there, but what's one more? Once you're at 3, what's another 4? And
We're
it's a bigger
done.
car, though.
Oh, you're done?
I'm almost 40, so we're done.
You got time.
No.
Just think about it. Yeah, like
Adoption.
4 years old. You have a 4-year-old boy. Yeah, just have another. You have a daughter or a boy.
No. Almost
twins.
40. Almost 40.
Oh,
Not
no.
doing it.
Twins,
Would
that's a
probably
whole
kill me.
nother level.
Yeah. My sister-in-law, they have twin boys, and they are 2. They're the same age as my daughter, like within weeks born. And they're awesome at their house.
Yeah.
You know? No,
Twins are
they're
extremely
really cool.
hard until about 3. Once they're potty trained, I think it's extremely hard to have twins. After that, I think it's great. They can play with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Unless
they're
you
full of
had
energy.
3 kids, then somebody.
All right, let's see. We got 30 seconds. We can go back on, and then we have about 8 to 10 minutes left.
Okay.
And we'll chat about everything else you guys got going on and how somebody can learn more. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:47 on a Monday morning, on a beautiful Monday morning in December. It's like 75 degrees.
Tomorrow's going to be cold.
How cold are we talking here?
The low in Galveston is 44.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a
that's
30.
cold for here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out Siri, what the weather app on the phone says for tomorrow. A low of 44, a high of 59. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. I was looking at Wednesday. It's a low of 42, a high of 60 for tomorrow, and then it looks like the next couple days after that, the lows will be in the 40. For us, that's nice. I like mixing it up a little bit. You know, get to wear a jacket that's been in the back of the closet
Right?
since last, since February
2
or so.
weeks ago.
Okay, that is true.
I mean, the weather kind of goes up and down here.
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
is
you're
true.
always getting sick too when the weather changes.
Oh man.
No, that's been.
2 years ago, we had snow.
That's true.
Oh, I saw a
years
Facebook memory that said like the Great Blizzard of 2017,
Right.
And it was like a little bit of snow on the ground with
Hey,
like
that's a lot
stick.
for us
It
down
is.
here.
No, you had a
It
decent
is.
amount up here because I live down in Galveston, and we didn't have any that day. And I specifically remember that day because it was, at Ball High School, they do that Share Your
Your
Holidays with the Galveston County Food Bank, and we always donate. And so I had to come up here and get our branded Texas First Bank car, and it was covered in snow. Well, I didn't wipe off all the snow. I just wiped
leave
off
it.
the windows and
Yeah.
whatnot, and I got all the way down to Galveston where we didn't have any, and the kids just ran to the car
Making
and
snowballs
there were
off it, I
so
bet.
many snowballs immediately, and then they unloaded the food.
Yeah, I would
But it
have
was great.
immediate
Yeah.
press release. Snow provided by Texas First Bank.
Yes.
Snow day
We're
for Galveston.
bringing
Yeah.
it, yes.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
you
think the
can.
next day it snowed a little bit in
Yeah.
Galveston, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, since we're running out of time, can we kind of recap? Why somebody should check out Texas First Bank, where y'all are, what kind of things y'all offer as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're everywhere in the Texas Gulf Coast. I like to say, Galveston up to Conroe, over to Port Arthur, and everywhere in between. We're a community bank. That means we live, we work, we play right here. You're gonna call the bank, and you're gonna talk to somebody in the bank. We pride ourselves on knowing your name and building relationships, like Renee was talking about. It's all about family, and that's great. We love to watch your kids grow up. We love to be there for your birthdays and all of that. But we're not just some small town bank. We're a bank with technology.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be here. You can deposit at many of our ATMs. We have those locations even more. I think we have something like 54 ATMs now.
Can you do checks and cash at the ATM?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
How does it count it right? I know I've
It
seen
really
my
does.
wife do
'cause
it
I use it
before.
a lot of times.
I've never put cash in there. I'm just like, I don't know. What if there's like an extra dollar and I need that dollar, right? That's gonna make and break me. I can't lose that dollar.
You can say, "Is this correct?" No, and then it'll recount it for you.
Okay.
You have to confirm that is the amount that you put in the machine.
Gotcha. So like I think my wife has done it. I've never done it. I was like, nah, I don't know about that, but I'm sure it's worked every time appropriately and correctly. Whereas you type in the amount, put the check in or the cash, and it counts, and it's like, yep, that's right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What are they going to think of next? I'm telling you what it is. It's the
Siri,
technology.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
one of
Siri.
those things you get scared. You're like, I don't know, this is new tech. But then as soon as you start using it, you're like, I can't live without it.
How do
need
you ever
it.
not have it?
Man, that for
I do
me,
that with my parents a lot. I'm like, Mom, stop using checks. Use a debit card. And now she uses it all the time. Okay, Mom,
Just try
start.
this.
Stop writing checks for your bills. Go online and pay them. And now
Auto
she
draft,
uses that all
yeah.
the time. Yeah. So it's, again, you would have never thought you could live without it.
So you should just try it.
Well, I like the features with the app where you can like do a mobile deposit straight from your phone. That's so cool. And I remember the first time I ever saw that, like, the technology wasn't that good. It was just like the lighting's not good, or like there's too many shadows. Now it's just like you pick up the phone over and it's just like it just takes it itself and it's done. And it's good to go. So that's really cool. Again, let's see, 9:51. Is there anything else y'all would like to share?
Come visit us Texas First. We'd love to have you as a customer if you're not already a customer of ours.
And that's in Santa Fe. They can come in and maybe even like knock on your door there.
Sure.
Say, Renee
Come
Rockers.
in my office.
Renee Rockers.
My door's always open.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, it's really true. Like, that's what makes us a community bank, is that we are local and we are accessible. You can
call us on our cell phones. We're going to answer. You're not going to go to somebody's voicemail and not get a return call or even some automated system. All of our locations have a phone line that you can talk to somebody directly.
And you also volunteer and give back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I see Texas First Bank, giving back a lot all the time, and that's awesome. And I think it's important. It's important to teach, kids. I always try and teach my kids now, like at every opportunity.
My son comes with me sometimes, because I want him to understand that giving back part.
Yeah. Oh, I know another question I had. What is Shred Day?
Oh.
Shred Day. Shred Day, we do it twice a year in the spring and the fall, and it's just, you can bring in all your papers.
A way for our customers, or even non-customers, anybody in the community can come and bring their
papers,
personalized documents that they don't need, statements, medical records, whatever that they want to get rid of but not throw in the trash. They can shred them and it all goes safe.
We
and
just bring
confidential.
out a big shred truck and you dump your stuff in there. It gets shredded and recycled and has a whole new life.
Okay, cool. And that's important if you have, even if it's not papers, like confidential stuff or accounts and all that stuff. Because when you throw it away,
who knows who's going to get it?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you wrote your social security number on the check. We don't do that anymore. Social security number, protect that, So, and then it's recycled too. So it's even better for our environment too than just throwing it away.
Well, thank you for hanging out today.
Thanks
I appreciate you guys.
us.
Yeah,
and I'll see y'all tomorrow at the same time, and we can just do this every day forever.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So be blessed. It's KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. All right, Facebook. See you guys. Y'all be good.